Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And what I want to talk about today is how do you explain your symptoms to yourself? And in particular, I want to caution you against explanations that are simply incorrect and that have to do with physical causes, with some kind of damage, with some kind of a reaction to something. And what prompted me to make this video was someone in the comments asking about mold and whether I thought that had anything to do with my improvement is switching houses and so on, and getting rid of mold, whatever. And this is actually a big sticking point for your recovery. Is if you're holding on to some kind of a belief like you have a herniated disc, you have liquid in your shoulder, or with CFS, this is a big one that really I had a lot of trouble getting over. There were these studies done where they put people on an exercise bike, I believe, and then they measured some stuff, in the blood, in their cells, in the mitochondria, and then they gave them that test again, and it turned out that normal people had different results from CFS people. So I took that, I read these studies, and I was very anxious reading them, and I'm trying to forget all this stuff because I believe it's irrelevant. And so when I read it, I became convinced that, oh my God, I'm broken. I'm broken, something's broken. And there's this cause other than an internal emotional cause, other than the brain trying to distract me from my emotions. So it was really hard to get over this stuff because it's enticing, you think you found an explanation and you want to kind of stick with it, and it's scary, it makes you feel like, oh man, something I shouldn't make things worse, I shouldn't push myself too much because I might just hurt myself some more, so it is important. And there are like countless explanations like that. Mold is one, or I'm reacting to mold, I can't be around mold, and maybe there's some little bit of it to it, but that's not the primary thing. If your brain didn't want you to react to mold like this, you wouldn't be reacting to mold like this. People talk about, with back pain, herniated disc, that's a big one, or arthritis, or plantar fasciitis for foot pain, or like I know somebody that has shoulder pain that their doctor told them, oh, you have liquid in your shoulder and that's causing problems, whatever. For years this is causing problems apparently, just pain, all of these kinds of things you hold on to, and they prevent you from getting better because you've got an explanation of, oh, there's something wrong with me. Either I'm reacting to something external, multiple chemical sensitivities comes to mind, or there's something broken within me, something internal that's just broken, And I'm not saying, for anyone that the symptoms aren't real. You guys know that. We know that the symptoms are real. We know, how much we're suffering. But the cause is not some physical thing that you're broken. It is not some external thing that you're reacting to. The cause is the brain is creating these very real symptoms to distract you. And, on this channel, we know this. But we have doubt. Like I mentioned earlier, my thing with CFS and all these studies that have been done, that there's a change in cellular metabolism for people with CFS. Well, there's always going to be some physiological change, something that can, scientists can work out. Oh yeah, this is different, in healthy people than it is from people who have these symptoms. Whatever your symptoms are, there's all kinds of crazy symptoms, and those things are gonna set you back. They're gonna hold you back, and I know that it's hard to let go of those beliefs because even when I knew what the cause was, even when I had my sort of latest breakthrough where I understood, or it sank in that no, the brain is just playing tricks on me. The brain is creating these real, unpleasant, crappy, shitty symptoms to distract me. The symptoms are real, but the cause is not physical. It's not that something is broken. And I don't know how to help you get over these, whatever your beliefs are about what's causing your symptoms, but I can just tell you what my process has been. It's just been rereading the books, like Dr. Sarno's books, and reiterating the information to myself and that understanding, and noticing that the doubt and the fear comes from a different place within me. If you will, it feels like my subconscious is bubbling up these fears and giving me something to hold on to in terms of, oh, you're broken in this way, you're broken in this way. It wants me to latch on to something. And the process for me has been to understand, no, I cannot go down that path, I cannot go down that road. I cannot buy into that explanation because I know it's not true, and it's just fear that is driving me towards that explanation. Okay, so no, I don't believe it was mold in my case. There's absolutely no chance of that. And I don't believe it's mold in your case either. Of course, you do want to get checked out by a doctor. You do want to eliminate things like cancer or an infection or a fracture, like big things like that. But then there's a whole list of things that symptoms get attributed to. It's absolutely ludicrous in some cases that those things could be causing your symptoms. And so that's why you want to make sure to read Dr. Sarno's books and see which things he says are not causing your symptoms, even though many doctors will frequently attribute your symptoms to those things. And you've got to sort of get over your fear of those diagnoses or those factors in your life. But one thing that Dr. Sarno did not talk about is this thing with CFS. Of course, he can't cover everything. And so this one, I had to, by analogy, realize, oh, this is just another one of those things that is proposed as an explanation that your unconscious mind is that very happy to latch on to and to drive you to latch on to that and to hold that belief that, yes, I'm broken, yes, I'm reacting to this, or yes, my cellular metabolism is broken and so I can't engage in activity. And that always prevented me from moving forward and doing more activity because I would have this fear, oh my God, well, what about that cellular metabolism and all that stuff that's broken in my energy production systems in the mitochondria or whatever. I can't pretend that I fully understand it because I don't have a background in natural sciences, but I do have a general background in science and chemistry and physics and stuff like that. So I have some idea, and it's not really important. The important thing is how much do you believe that this is a problem. This means I can't recover. This means I shouldn't increase my activity because I'm only going to make things worse, and so on. So this is a big thing to get over, and it takes time. It didn't happen for me that boom, I had a realization and I just was able to let go of all these explanations, alternative explanations. No, it's been a very long process for me. Actually, it's been like a few years, but even when I had like my final realization that no, this is my brain playing tricks on me, it still took some months of these fears coming up, these explanations popping into my mind, and making me concerned, and me consciously saying no, that's not true, that's a false explanation, that's my brain trying to trick me. So I'm hoping this is helpful. I'd like to hear about your experiences, but I know this is a big thing that many people, if not everyone, goes through. So if you're going through this is part of your recovery, and part of what you're going to have to do is let go of these explanations and focus on what's really happening and lose the fear, associated with these explanations. Lose the fear of, oh, I can't expose myself to this, or, I'm broken in this way. Now, just as a word of caution, there are real allergies, but these are far more serious. People get anaphylactic shocks and stuff like that. So always be careful and always do consult with your physician with stuff like that. But just be aware that there are countless explanations that are false, and they will stop you recovering. They will keep you stuck, and if you're going to recover, you're going to have to let go of those things. So once again, hope this was helpful. Let me know your thoughts. I'd like to know what you have to say on this topic. Bye-bye.